Well, I wasn't planning on reviewing this movie, but since this is my first video in a while, I figured, what the hell, might as well. Hey, everybody! Welcome to another review. And yes, um, it's been a while. I know. I realize that it's been a while, but I'm back, and I'm sorry for having for not posting any videos lately. I just needed time away for a little bit. Like these last few months have been pretty rough on me. I don't want to go into detail, but I'll just say that it's been kind of rough for me, and I just needed time away from YouTube for a while, at least posting videos. That is, um, so but I figured I might as well do something. So this is like what I like to do. This is like my favorite thing to do. So I'm back. So, anyways, welcome to another review, and today I'm going to be reviewing Dune. That's right. Yeah, Dune, the new Dune movie. Like I said in the intro, I wasn't really planning on reviewing it, but I actually decided I think I want to start watching and reviewing movies that are coming out in this. Well, this year is almost over, but movies that are coming out this year and have came out this year. I might even review movies that came out last year too, because I haven't seen any movies that came out this year or last year. So what I'm going to do, I'm reviewing Dune today, and then next week I'll do an older movie, well, about 10 years or so older, so one from the last decade or older. I'll do that, and then I'll do a newer movie again. Like movies I have in mind about reviewing are like The Mitchells versus the Machines, the new Space Jam movie, which I'm not really looking forward for that, but I'll probably watch it anyways just to review it. And also Cruella, I'm thinking about that one as well. And just whatever else that I don't know, that I think I would be able to review at least. But I thought I'd start with Dune. So yeah, here we go. So anyways, Dune, this came out, of course, this year, 2021. And this was directed by Denis Villeneuve, who is a director I'm not really familiar with. I haven't seen any of his films. I know who he is. I've heard his name a lot. But I've never really been interested in watching his films. He's the director of films such as Blade Runner 2049, Arrival, Sicario, and some others too. I hear nothing but good things about him, but he kind of seems a little bit like Christopher Nolan, a little bit, at least of what I hear about his films. They sound a little similar to the style, at least a little similar to like Christopher Nolan, and I'm not a Christopher Nolan fan, so yeah, that's why I haven't been watching Denis Villeneuve's films. But I figured I might as well watch this at least. Sorry, that was my phone. I don't know if you could hear it, but I made a sound. But anyways, so yeah, this was directed by Denis Villeneuve, and this has a big all-star cast. We got Timothy Chalamet. I hope I said his name right. I don't know. Rebecca Ferguson, Oscar Isaac, Josh Brolin, Dave Bautista, Zendaya, Jason Momoa, and Javier Bardem. And if I missed out anybody, I apologize. It's either I don't know who they are or I don't know how to pronounce their names. But those are the actors I know. So anyways, so yeah, okay. So all right. So like I said in the intro, I wasn't planning on reviewing this movie, but and I wasn't even really wanting to watch it, at least not yet, at least. But yeah, like I said, since this is my first video in a while, I figured I might as well watch it, and review it. And I heard mixed things about this movie. I think mostly good things I've heard. But yeah, to tell you the truth, I was never like really excited for this movie. Like a lot of people were. Like I wasn't really wanting. It wasn't like high on the list of movies I've want. Well, my most anticipated films. I wasn't. It wasn't really one of those. In fact, the only movie I was ever really looking forward for this year is the French Dispatch, the new Wes Anderson movie, which just came out not that long ago. Actually, it came out I think on the same day as Dune, maybe or close to there. Same with Edgar Wright's new film, Last Night in Soho. And those two movies, I want to see those, but I might wait for a while because I don't. I mean, I'll probably just wait till they come out on DVD or Blu-ray or whatever, or if they show up on a streaming service that I have. Um, but anyways, so I wanted to. After a while, I started to think, well, maybe I'll watch it and see if it's at least better than the original Dune film. The 80s movie, the one directed by my favorite director, David Lynch. And I love David Lynch. Don't get me wrong. I mean, you should probably know by my profile pic, the Eraserhead baby, and Eraserhead is my all-time favorite movie. It's my favorite film. But I'm a big David Lynch fan, and also I should be having a David Lynch ranking sometime soon. I need to finish Twin Peaks season 2, and then, which I know I'm not counting Twin Peaks itself, but I was trying to watch Twin Peaks before I watched Fire Walk with Me. So Twin Peaks Fire Walk with Me is the last David Lynch movie I need to watch, but I had to wait till I finish season 2, and I just haven't gone on finishing it yet. So once I do, though, I'll watch Fire Walk with Me, and then the David Lynch ranking should be coming. But anyways, like I said, big David Lynch fan, but I really did not like the original Dune movie. I'll talk more about it whenever I do the ranking, but I really did not like it, and I was hoping that this would be better than that. And I was right. It was. It was better. It was more entertaining, and I liked it better. But with that being said, was I a fan of this movie? Not really. I wasn't I wasn't head over heels of this film, honestly. Do I think it's bad though? Not at all. It's good. It is good. I don't think it's a masterpiece. In fact, I even see flaws in it a little bit. There's some flaws I have with it, but I do have positives too. I'll talk about that in a minute, along with my negatives. But yeah, it just didn't hit me that hard, really. Like I said, I liked it better than the original, but this is a movie I have to say I don't love it, but I also don't hate it. I don't hate it either. So, so don't get mad. It's not for me, but I don't hate it either. So, I'll talk about it in a minute. Well, I mean, right about now is probably where I discuss the plot of the film. I'm not sure exactly how to be honest, because I'm not really entirely sure what this movie is about. I haven't read the book. My brother has, but I haven't. I'm not much of a reader anyways, ironically, because I'm wearing my Harry Potter shirt, but I'm a fan of the movies, so even though this is, of course, the cover of the first book, but, whatever. But, yeah, I haven't read the book, so I don't really know exactly what the movie is. I mean, of course, I just know it's like a, just like a science fiction fantasy movie that takes place a lot in the desert. So yeah, that's basically, I guess, what I could say. I'm sorry. I'm sorry about, I probably should discuss the plot, but I really don't know exactly what happened, like what was going on. I just and that's kind of a negative I have with the movie too. Like I just wasn't following along with it, but that was kind of my fault because I don't have a good attention span. But I wasn't following along with the story. That is, but so sorry. I'm not really gonna say much about the plots, but it's just a science fiction fantasy movie, I guess. But so that being said, I guess I'll talk about what I think about it. Okay, so even though I kind of did already, like I said, I wasn't a fan of it, but at the same time, I didn't hate it either. I just thought it was all right. Just thought it was okay. I have, like I said, I have positives and I have negatives. I'll start with the positives. Most of the performances, actually pretty much all of them, were pretty good. I have to say. Like pretty much everybody was pretty good. Timothy Chalamet, or however you say his last name. Now, to be honest, he might be the weakest. And I'm just being honest because I don't know. There were moments where I wasn't really convinced by his acting. Sometimes he felt kind of bland, and it just, I don't know. Like it kind of seems like he almost doesn't have a personality, and that's kind of how because the only other movie I've ever seen with him is Lady Bird, and I kind of felt that same way too. Although the character that he played in that movie, it kind of fit a little bit. So he was good in that movie, but only because it kind of fit like with his character. This one, because he plays the main character, Paul. And I felt like, I don't know, it just felt like there was something a little bit off with it, but I didn't think he was terrible. In fact, there were moments that he was actually pretty good. Like I did like him at some parts. But I will say I did think he was better than Kyle MacLachlan from the original film who played Paul. And that's kind of a shame too because I like Kyle MacLachlan. I love him in Twin Peaks and Blue Velvet. Like I said, Lynch fan, but I didn't like him in that movie. So yeah, I thought Timothy Chalamet was better than Kyle MacLachlan. I felt something, maybe not like all the way through because some moments he was kind of a little dull, but he had more. I thought he had more of a personality than Kyle did in the original, and he wasn't. Kyle was just bland. Timothy, I liked better. I thought his performance as Paul was better. So yeah, he was all right. He wasn't like great, but he was. I wouldn't say he was terrible either. So yeah, I thought Rebecca Ferguson was good. She played Paul's mom. She was really good, and Oscar Isaac was Paul's dad. He was good, even though he wasn't in it like too much. But he was good. I like Oscar Isaac anyways. I liked him in Inside Llewyn Davis. And I should mention Rebecca Ferguson, the only other movie I've ever seen her in was Dr. Sleep. And my God, she terrified the shit out of me in that movie. but she was good in this. She was fantastic in Dr. Sleep, but that's because she was terrifying. But anyway, yeah, they were good. Jason Momoa I thought was pretty good. And to tell you the truth, this might be the first thing I've ever seen Jason Momoa in. I mean, I'm familiar with, I know who he is. I know that I've heard of him and stuff. I've never seen Game of Thrones, so I don't know, how good of an actor he is. But, I hear decent things about him, and I thought he was good in this. Josh Brolin, I think I liked both Jason Momoa and Josh Brolin. They were both kind of funny in this movie, to be honest. They had some funny moments. Yeah, I think they try to add some humor to it. And it wasn't bad. I thought the humor was kind of funny. I mean, I wouldn't say, of course, this is a comedy, but you know what humor that they added to it, it was kind of funny. So, and I thought Josh Brolin and Jason Momoa, I thought they were pretty funny in the movie at times. Their characters, and yeah. And let's see who else. Zendaya, she was okay. Wasn't in it too much. That's why I say she's okay. But whenever she was on screen, she wasn't too bad. Who else? Javier Bardem, he wasn't in it too much either. But I thought he was fine. It's kind of ironic that both Josh Brolin and Javier Bardem are in this movie because of No Country for Old Men. But yeah. It was cool seeing them both in this movie. And Dave Bautista, one of the biggest issues I have with this movie, not enough Dave Bautista. I like Bautista mostly as a wrestler. I grew up as a WWE fan, so I like Bautista a lot. I call him Bautista because that was his wrestling name, but Dave Bautista, yeah. He was okay, I guess. Maybe he'll be in it more in the sequel, but yeah. Did I leave out anyone else? I can't remember. I don't know. Those are the only ones I remember. Maybe I don't know who I thought had the best performance. I would say either maybe Rebecca Ferguson or Oscar Isaac. I guess were probably the best ones. But yeah, decent performances. Everybody was pretty good, or at least decent. Timothy Chalamet had a little bit of issues with, but not. He wasn't terrible. Like I said, he was a better Paul than Kyle MacLachlan. So yeah. All right. So there's that. The cinematography is really good. I really like the cinematography. Maybe one of my favorite things about the movie, honestly. It was shot really awesomely. And of course I should say the visual effects, the effects in this movie, CGI and whatnot. It was great. A lot better than the original because like the original effects and the effects in the original movie were shit. They were really bad. But this one, yeah, it was a lot better. The music. Now, even though this is composed by, of course, Hans Zimmer, and everybody loves Hans Zimmer, I don't. Honestly, I'm not a Hans Zimmer fan, with the exception of the Pirates of the Caribbean film. Yeah, with those films, I liked the music in that, but I don't like. Other than that, I don't like Hans Zimmer very much. Just not a fan. But the music in this, it was okay. It wasn't terrible. Some parts, it was all right. It wasn't. It was pretty cool. I thought it was decent at least. So I'll give Hans Zimmer, I'll give him that. Anything else? I can't really think. I think I said all the positives. And honestly, I don't have too much negatives, but okay, as Timothy Chalamet in some ways is sometimes he's like half positive, half negative. So, but I do have one big issue with the movie. I did not like the editing. I thought the editing was kind of, I don't know. There was just something off about it. A little lazy, especially during the fight scenes. Like I felt like I didn't like the fight scenes because I felt like I blame it on the editing. Like I don't know. They felt a little bit too fast, a little fast paced, and I just don't like how they were edited. And yeah, that's the big issue I have with it, is the editing. I can't really give it any examples because some of it might spoil the film. But yeah, I wasn't a fan of the editing. That's the only issue I could think of, though, really. But beside that, I thought it was a decent movie at best. I thought it was decent. I will say, though, it does end on a cliffhanger, and I'm sorry if that kind of spoils the film, but I think everyone probably knows that by now, maybe. Like, even I knew that before I watched the movie, that there's supposed to be a part 2. So yeah, it does end on a cliffhanger, and I have to say, though, the cliffhanger, I didn't think was bad. Like, I thought it was a decent ending, honestly. I mean, of course, not the actual ending to the story, but the ending to this film, just getting ready for part two. I thought it was all right. I thought it was decent. Wasn't that bad. So yeah. Okay. All right. I will say, okay, like I said about. Well, I don't know if I said it, but the original I thought was really boring. This movie, and I was really thinking that this would be boring. The first act of this film was kind of boring. I have to be honest. It was really slow. Actually, this whole movie's kind of slow, but it does pick up, toward the end. But, yeah, I wasn't a fan of the first act. So yeah, okay, that's a negative too. I wasn't a fan of the first act. I thought it was just way too slow and kind of boring. But like toward probably the second or third acts, it started to get interesting. So it picked up, and I was like, all right, this is all right. I could deal with this. But yeah, this actually took me 2 nights in a row to watch, because the first night I just couldn't get through it that night because it was just so boring. But then the next night it picked up. It was still kind of a little slow, but then it picked up. So, and I kept watching. So, yeah. And this is a 2-hour movie also. Like, I don't know, 2 hours and 30 minutes, something like that. A little bit close to 3 hours. I mean, not quite, but a little bit. But I had to say, yeah, I thought it was, paced pretty decently. Like, I mean, I could definitely feel the runtime, during the first act, but towards the second and third acts, I was like, okay, it's all right. It's not too bad, and it didn't feel like it was rushed either, really. So, yeah, like I said, I don't love it and I don't hate it. I'm just in the middle. I'm just like, yeah, it's a decent movie. I don't really plan on watching it again anytime soon. I think now, whenever the sequel comes out, then I'll watch it again. I'll watch it again, and then I'll watch the second movie. And if I'm still on YouTube during that point, I'll review that as well. But that's not supposed to come out until 2023, I think. So in 2 years, that's when we'll get the sequel, part 2. I also thought that was interesting also because, like, on the posters and the trailers and whatnot, it's just called Dune. But then when you watch the movie, it opens on the title card. It says Dune Part 1. So it tells you right away. It doesn't tell you like in trailers and stuff, but it does tell you whenever you start the movie that this is Part 1. So I thought that was kind of cool. I kind of liked that. So yeah, I am kind of looking forward for the second part. I mean, I'm not in a big rush, I can wait 2 years. I can. But when it comes out, I'll definitely check it out. I'll definitely watch this again, and I'll watch the sequel. So yeah, Dune. Not really know what else to say about it. So I guess I'll go ahead and give it its rating. Yes, I also want to mention that I'm no longer doing grades anymore, because used to, if you're new to the channel, that is, I used to do grades, like A, B, C, D, F, stuff like that. A plus, A minus, stuff like that. Now, I'm doing this letterbox style. And I should mention, I am on Letterboxd, by the way. My link, if you want to follow me on Letterboxd, the link to my page is in the description. So yeah, check it out. So I'm gonna do this Letterboxd style. I'm gonna do stars. I'm gonna do like half stars and stuff like that. So the grade I'm gonna give Dune 2021 Part 1, if you will. Now, this might make some people mad, but just because I wasn't like a huge fan of this movie, I just thought it was decent. I'm gonna give Dune 2.5 stars. Yeah, 2.5 stars. That's what I give Dune. I apologize if you don't like that rating, but that's my rating. That's my rating for Dune, 2.5 stars. So yeah, decent. Don't love it, but don't hate it either. I'm just in the middle. I just thought it was fine. So yeah. All right, there we go. There's my review for Dune, 2021. So, all right. So in the comments, have you seen the new Dune movie? Have you not? Also, what's your favorite Denis Villeneuve film? And if you think I should check it out, let me know in the comments. I might. I don't have a favorite at the moment because since this is the only one I've seen so far. But yeah, what's your favorite Denis Villeneuve film? All right, so please like, comment, subscribe, and hit the bell. And I'll go and say what my next video will be. That'll be out this Thursday. It's going to be a thing that I've been seeing on YouTube. Some YouTubers have been doing it. It's called like what I watched in October. I'm going to say with the movies that I watched in October. That I, at least not every single movie will be on there, but at least some that that I did watch. I'll explain that in that video why it's not all the movies, but anyways, look out for that. My what I watched in October list. Yeah, look out for that. So okay, so again, please like, subscribe, comment, and hit the bell, and I'll see you next time. Okay, peace.